Yo, guys, welcome episode 119, Winter House Gaming Podcast.
Yeah, what's going on?
Wow. You got one of those, Mike? Come on.
A sort of whimmying whamwazzle.
Yeah,
exactly.
Wazzle.
Wow. Come on, do it like a Maynard, because you just learned a lot.
I just want to see. So I do it. I wham it. What do you want me to do? I don't like to go on shows and step out of line. I whim. Do you want a whamming or a whiz-wazzle?
I want a whiz-wazzle.
Whiz-wazzle, please.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's awesome.
I wasn't sure what to expect, but I
that was
wasn't
seductive.
disappointed.
That was.
I wouldn't be surprised if you were in my bed right next to me at night, and that's what happened.
It's always been my dream to meet Owen Wilson.
That's right. Yo, guys, as you can see, we got a special guest here.
Podcast.
I wouldn't call myself a special guest,
Boring
but
movies.
all right, I'm on it every episode.
We've got
okay,
Mike here with us. How's it going, man?
It's going good. Investigating a cult. So every day when I'm not talking to people who believe that women are the scum of the earth and that they're genetically worse than other people, I'm having a good day. So that's pretty nice.
Wow, you just go right in there, don't you?
Yeah.
I am the ambassador of MGTOW is a cult. Go to #cult.org. I'm happy to talk about anybody about the crazy people ruining the internet.
Well, there you go.
Need help.
They go by the name Kelly Banks.
That's
Wait, do they all accumulate at Reddit, or is that just a joke? Or is it still 4chan?
Reddit's a big one. They actually have a quarantined Reddit. So there's MGTOW 1 and MGTOW 2. MGTOW 1 was quarantined, and that's where the Coast Guard, who was stockpiling ammunition and creating illegal silencers while on Tramdol and body enhancers, he was spending most of his time on the internet on MGTOW 1. MGTOW 2 has now replaced it. This is why I like talking to people about video games.
Yeah,
I think
this is my nightmares.
that isn't.
I had a MGTOW once, but then I went to the clinic and it turned out it was benign. Everything was fine.
Yeah, went to the
That's
clinic.
how you pronounce it. I've been saying Benign
Benign.
this whole time.
Benign. Yeah. So video games. Yeah, we like to talk about video games.
Fucking video games.
Today, I love the days where something cool happens, like showcases, like the Xbox showcase today. We can talk about it today, and that's always a good thing because it's all fresh in our minds. I had to come home
tomorrow.
That's right. He's like, "Call me tomorrow, assholes." I had to come home and watch it real fast. People were blowing my phone up all day about all this stuff, and I was at work, and I'm like,
It was exciting. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of
I
stuff.
have a question about that release time. Speaking of which,
Sure.
Who's that for? Like, you know what I mean? We're all at work. Like, there was no time zone. Like, I understand sometimes people's stuff gets released on the East Coast. Who was that? Just to get us to not to go to work. Just to
The
get us
middle of a damn weekday.
At least
Yeah.
Sony had the courtesy to do it at like 4 p.m.
Dude,
That's
yeah.
true.
It's you know what it is? You know what it
is?
is? It was so bad for me that they probably were like, you know what? We are kind of embarrassed that this showcase is this bad. Let's put it in the middle of the day so less people see it.
Right. Real quick, I want to do something really, really fast. James, thank you very much for the 80 stars that you've given us. That's an 11-week streak. We really appreciate that. Yes, there you go, Eric. Thank you very much for that. Also, Pearly, thank you very much for the 500 stars, 3-week streak. Thank you so much.
Wow, big stars.
I just want to let James know real quick. James wrote, "Giving last stars for a while." James, that's perfectly okay. We really appreciate you being here, and we hope to see you again tomorrow. So anyway, okay, Xbox. All right. First of all, before we say if we like
it,
I can't believe Kelly didn't like it.
What was it supposed to be? Because I read gameplay thing. This is I know you probably have a spiel. Like, it was 20 minutes in to get to gameplay.
Right.
Yeah.
So what?
So the thing about it was, and I actually broadcasted all of it in our Discord channel live as it was happening. The first thing they showed was Halo Infinite gameplay, which, mind you, actually looked fucking amazing.
It looks incredible.
I'm pretty excited about that, but at the same time, I'm kind of just like indifferent at the same time. Like, it's one of those things where like I'm excited, but at the same time, I don't want to be excited.
To me, it looked like a real return to form. Honestly, it did. It kind of had a Halo 1 vibe. It's just Master Chief, Covenant, you shoot them. It was all good.
I'm looking at it.
It had some like weird traversal mechanics.
I actually noticed that the grappling hook actually kind of looked interesting. I'm excited to see how that mechanic works.
It looked like a grappling hook.
Out of the entire 4 minutes of the whole conference that I've seen, it definitely seemed very Halo 1-esque.
Yeah.
Yes, and when I was watching it, I was thinking, I wanted to be more excited than I was, but it did look. I'm like, oh, it just looks like Halo. I guess I wasn't really sure what I was expecting as far as graphics wise. Right. Everything was smoothed out, as you could tell, but it looked like it played like Halo 1, and it was cool. I liked it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm confused.
I'm gonna buy it.
Halo. Other than it being the flagship thing, I'm confused in a lot of ways. The first thing they showed was not any gameplay. I want to make this clear. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it I'm a big retro gamer, and I'm annoyed that the thing you're still trying to get me with is like, I've seen like better CGI movies than this.
Right.
So you're showing me a CGI sequence that isn't as good as Star Wars or Transformers in terms of CGI is not actually impressing me. So I'm not really sure why that's still the film convention.
Yeah, but you play one, you play them all. I mean, why would you know what it looks like for gameplay?
I kind of get where you're going there, Mike, as well. When these companies say their gameplay and they just show a CGI
or it's it's a cutscene that's rendered in engine, and that's their like loophole of this is actual gameplay. It's in engine, but it's like I mean, cutscenes are cool and all. I don't mind. I didn't think the Halo one was that egregious. Like, it did start off with a cutscene, but then it fairly quickly went into a good chunk of gameplay. Still showed more gameplay than it showed cutscene. So
which I was actually impressed about. Yeah, that was a good display.
Definitely the cutscene didn't seem like it was like the main event. It was like an appetizer of sorts. Just like, oh look, they're showing the
appetizer. That's my whole. If I'm going to a diner, that's burger, fries, and shake. That's not quite.
Right, exactly. So just another thing real quick. Christine, thank you very much for the 200 stars. We really appreciate that. 2 week streak.
Yeah.
Mike, I know Eric filled you in. We like to interrupt each other all the time.
Have I looked dismayed when you?
Yeah, perfect.
It was my turn to talk about how I want to see Cortana's boobies. Oh, I was going to make a really good point about Cortana boobies, and you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You're gonna do fine
like
here.
I said earlier. Yeah, like I said earlier.
You're doing great, kid.
as soon as Mike asked me about being a guest on the show, I'm like, I think you're gonna be a great fit because I've listened to Hack Thought, one of his podcasts. I'm like, I've listened to Hack Thought, and you don't sound like someone we're gonna talk over. I think you'll be able to hang out,
and that's perfect.
Right alongside us.
My true power of interrupting.
Exactly.
Can I say one annoyance about the cutscene? But one last thing.
Go ahead.
Every single which by the way, in engine cutscenes, I want to know the loading time. That's my big thing. Am I sitting around a while to watch this in-engine thing in the actual game? That's also a big thing too. But my second point is every single, when this is being like in the field of animation, cheating something really far away, you'd be really shocked as to how many times you're looking at a really low res thing and it's in the really far in the background. Right. And so they make this thing, you can tell that these cutscenes are designed by CGI artists because they go get really up close. And yet the game you show is Halo. I have tried like every single Halo game to get close to the enemies, to see their faces and to see their details. Yep. And it's really hard without some of the better scoping weapons to do that. Yeah. And it looks bad. Why not show, not like it's ready, but like, why not show a game like Dishonored or something like that where you're lock picking? There seems to be a lot of accomplishments with graphics, but then Halo, I mean, even if you think of a camera, let's say they get the camera exactly where the head is. The gun in Halo is pretty far away from you. We got to see no in-game details.
Yeah, it's not as up close and personal as a lot of other first person games.
There's always nerds out there trying to see if some of the creatures have penises.
But
So I mean,
give us a weird way to call yourself out.
Right. I never did that.
I have a friend, and he likes to do this, this thing. But
his name's Dave.
I always hate
the camera during Skyrim loading scenes.
Exactly. I always hate when you get close, and on some of the games, you get close to like the leaves or something like that, and it gets worse. You see them far away, 15, 20 feet away, whatever. They look fantastic. The closer you get, the more you're like, okay, I see what you did there. This looks like paper. I want some depth to that stuff.
What to touch on one thing that you pointed out, Mike, loading times. One of the big pushes for this whole generation, though, is of course the solid state drives that are going to come standard in the next gen consoles,
which basically cut loading times away, is what they're saying.
Yeah, I mean, of course there will
show me.
Here's exactly.
Scene, and here's you in the real scene.
Well, it did show like a start screen before it got into the gameplay. It showed like a start screen. It showed them press start, and it went like right into it. So I don't know if that is absolutely indicative of what the final product's going to look like, or if that was a stage
it might
trick,
just be it might just be their studio's demo they made that would go right into that. So how can we tell, really?
But still, that is something worth noting. Beyond that, though, as far as like the gameplay and stuff goes, it didn't get into like the nitty gritty details and stuff like that. But the reason I was satisfied by the display itself was that it captured that Halo spectacle. Like to me, one of the main reasons that Halo is still one of my favorite franchises and my favorite first-person shooter franchise, way beyond most of the stuff that's come out recently, is it has this like grandiose like spectacle about it where stuff like Destiny or whatever, like you're just kind of in this open world, you're doing little fetch quests here and there, you go talk to that person, they tell you to go do that thing, then you go do that thing, then you go do that thing, whatever. Whereas like the way Halo is segmented into missions, you have every piece of it has a purpose, everything is, it always feels like it's moving forward in a meaningful way. And
like walking into a room and someone just some grunt is running at you with like a bunch
of
grenades. And, there's a lot of ripping off of whatchamacallit, Saving Private Ryan 2, which is big on this era. We're still in
Saving Private Ryan 2. I didn't even see the first one.
Yeah, Saving Private Ryan.
So good, man.
He goes home and like it's just about him, buying stuff that he.
Wait, you saw Saving Ryan's Privates? That's what you said.
Totally Ryan's
that's Shaving Private Ryan. That's a whole
Private Ryan.
And they do these beachhead scenes and they do all this stuff. And I think that there's a lot of stuff in like gaming where people are like, oh, the Metal Gear Solid games are so cinematic. And it's like, kind of, but why isn't anybody else trying to rip off movies when they're making cinematic? Like, it doesn't seem like the cinematic language of there's no conversation between cinematics and actual movies. It seems to be just kind of movie-ish thing. So I agree with you there. Like, you're coming, there's this battle, there's this thing going on you're in the middle of it. It's, as opposed to like Destiny,
it's more scripted, it's more guided, but I don't know, I prefer a more guided but really tight, exciting experience over something where you have all this freedom but nothing that you can do is interesting.
Destiny's like going to a mall though. It's like, oh, look, there's Abercrombie, and I guess I could kill those enemies if I wanted to. Here I go.
And a lot of newer RPGs are like that. I mean, it's kind of like your Red Dead's the same way. A whole bunch of them where it gives you 50,000 different options of shit you could do, and I always get a little overwhelmed on that. So
it's like you're on your way to complete a quest. You're just like on your way to go there, and then all of a sudden, oh, look, a bear.
I'm gonna go kill that, and all of a sudden you're gone. Well, there's a task at hand over there, but there's mushrooms over there. That's actually, it's funny you talk about like the linear aspect of games, because Ghost of Tsushima has a very odd thing that I think I don't like, but I think I like it. Is when you're in, it's very confusing because I fight with myself on if I like it or not. So you have this
you're supposed to fight the enemy, so you're playing the game wrong.
First off, you're not supposed to fight yourself, Dave.
I always get mad when the bear hits me and my fucking horse falls, and I'm just mad, and I'm so anyway, you're in this
problem
big,
only gamers have. Just be happy.
Exactly.
Shut up and be happy instead of being like, I can't decide if I want to be happy.
I'm telling you, gamers are terrible. We're terrible. So there's a wide open world, and it's a lot of fun. You can do a whole bunch of shit. But the second you're in some sort of mission, you're like confined to a little area, or it yells at you and says, "Go back! You fucked it up. Go back."
Right.
It's odd to me that that's in a game like an RPG open world type game, but I think I kind of like it because it brings me back to old school games where everything was linear. It didn't matter.
I don't know if we're playing the same game, because as far as I can remember during the mission that I've been doing in Ghost of Tsushima, like if you go away from the main area, you can still like go do whatever you want. The game is just like,
well,
idiot.
Here's the funny thing. I don't go any further than when it yells at me and I'm like, oh shit, I have to go back, because I'm always afraid it's gonna be like, your mission failed.
No. So that's actually the thing, Dave. It won't fail the mission on you. It'll just give you this. If you look on the map, it'll give you this.
It'll put the marker on the map.
It'll put the map.
Because I don't like failing. So
you can just walk away. Honestly, you can just walk away from the objective, and it'll just go like,
wait.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
no, wait. What did you say?
Or you
Mike?
can go over there.
Do you really not like losing in games?
Oh no, dude, I do it all the time.
Oh, okay.
He does it a lot, but he doesn't like it.
He doesn't even end it. He doesn't even end it losing a game.
No, here's what happens. Here's what happens, okay? And I've told the story before, but I'm going to give you 2 seconds of it, Mike. Sekiro, okay? I'm not a Dark Souls guy. I played that, and I was so fucking mad, I never played it again. I put it down. I said, fuck this game. And
but do you genuinely feel like you made a mistake whenever that happens to me? That's just a part of games.
It is, but I don't like being angry. I really don't. It bothers me. But I'm not a super competitive person either in that sense.
Good. That would be game is not a competition. Good.
It would be one thing if it was like an honest mistake. It's like he had Sekiro pre-order for like 2 months, and I'm talking to Dave. I'm like, listen, man. I'm like, listen, dude. Like, I really don't think this is gonna be your kind of game. And he's like, oh, I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, literally all of us warned him.
I hate this game.
I
multiple times.
Ninjas. I was awesome at Tenchu.
Later the day that it came out, Dave's like, guys, I fucking hate this game. I'm like,
this is for me.
No, for real. It caused this problem. Okay, that game, the 2 hours I played, I don't even think it was 2 hours. The 2 hours I played, it caused a problem. So when Ghost of Tsushima was coming out, I'm asking questions. I'm talking to people, and they're like, "No,
he's like paranoid. He's and I'm like, so
guys,
paranoid.
I think I'm gonna cancel this."
Oh my god. And I'm like, Dave, listen, I've done a bunch of research.
Yep. You guys all told me, all three of these guys told me. I played it, and holy fuck, it is mind-blowing. But this isn't really about Ghost of Tsushima right now. Let's dial it back to Xbox, stuff like that.
But is an interesting question I have for you guys, because I don't go current gen until because I don't like to buy bad games expensive. I am a lurker. Right. I wait. And I let other people do it, and then I buy
wish
it.
I could do that.
I guess this was my son's. Is it valuable?
No, give it to me. So I shouldn't even really pay you. But I saw Ghost of Tsushima, not the newest generation, and that's the first game in a long time that I looked at the graphics and I was like, "Damn, I'm going to at some point need to get an Xbox One because that game looks so good." I didn't feel that from this Halo game. It made me want to play Halo. It made me want to play other Halo games. I didn't look at the graphics. I didn't look at the gameplay and was like, gotta get me that new Xbox.
Dude, yeah. I actually had that same reaction. But I was like, you know what? I have Xbox or PC Game Pass. I can just play it on my PC when it comes out.
Right.
One of the biggest takeaways that I got from the Xbox event, and Kelly, I understand you weren't a big fan of the event overall. Honestly, I was kind of impressed with a good amount of it.
I don't know how. It showed a race car.
Right? Kelly should have loved it.
Yeah, it should be dead.
Let me tell you, I am more excited about the race cars in Gran Turismo 7 than I am in Forza Motorsports 8.
I will say that Forza Motorsport trailer was one of the ones like where sure it was in-game footage, but I would have liked to see it from like driving perspective. It just it was all these slow motion shots of like dramatic Dutch angles and
I'm
stuff.
just like this,
just show me the fucking game.
I'm like, this means nothing to me
in slow-mo.
I was like, dude, when they showed the new Gran Turismo game, they showed us game footage.
Right.
This shit means nothing to me.
But
so I kind of just got left with this sour taste in my mouth from it.
Yeah. I mean, one of my biggest takeaways from the whole event, though, which this was, I think, the reason that I came out with a positive outlook on the event overall, rather than just the games themselves, is that every single game that they showed at the event will be on Xbox Games Pass. As far as I could tell, every game, or at least almost every game that they showed, will be available on PC as well as Xbox Series X. Granted, of course, it's worth noting that Xbox Games Pass and Games Pass Ultimate don't necessarily always have the same games. You won't necessarily be able to play every one of the games on PC through Game Pass. Right. But still, I mean, they've shown me, like, if Microsoft didn't do enough to sell me on the system itself, they definitely did enough to sell me on keeping my Game Pass Ultimate subscription renewed until the end of time, and I ended up spending more money on that than I would on the Series X to begin with.
There, Eric. Like I am completely, I'm 100% on board with Games Pass. I think that's one of the things that they're doing amazing.
Yeah.
But as far as like selling me on wanting to get the next Xbox,
I'll drink to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll drink to that too.
Yeah, I'll drink to that too. Social.
Is that part of it? Is that they know that Microsoft has had for years the PC market too. I mean, that's always been the thing that people say when these Halo things come out. They go, well, it's Microsoft. They have to push, Halo because it's whatever.
Right.
Is that it? That in the end, it's not really a premiere because it's like, well, you could have most of this tech tomorrow.
Right.
You don't actually have to wait. Yeah. Is that really the vibe?
Well, it's interesting because right now Microsoft and Sony are kind of going in opposite directions with it. Like Sony is really, which I mean, we're a bunch of Sony fanboys. Just throwing this out right now. If you've listened to any of our stuff, you know that we're very much Team Sony.
I've transcended this stuff by playing only systems from 20 years ago. So
fair enough.
But
either way,
like, oh, that's controversial. That PS3 is very big.
I mean, we're collectors. We end up getting all the systems anyway, but we err towards the Sony side. Mint. But PS5, like Sony is
except for
really...
when they explode. They were really good. Everybody's always like that red ring of death. Man, that was so. PlayStation 3 only had exploding stuff. Like,
yeah, who
what's the deal? It doesn't matter.
You know what? You pay to watch Michael Bay movies because they have explosions in it. You can have an explosion in your own very own house. Thanks to the power of PS3.
If that's not immersion, I don't know what is.
Dude, I still have my 40 gig fat somewhere, and that thing exploded right out the back of it.
But like I was saying, Sony is going full on hardware. They're selling their exclusives. They're like, we want you to have a PlayStation 5 in your house. We want you to be playing Sony exclusives, whatever. Microsoft seems to be going in the opposite direction where they're like, we do have this dedicated box where you can play our games if you want, but we really just want you to keep giving us money through Game Pass.
I was going to mention something.
Honestly, that's like straight fucking profit for them if you think about it. It seems crazy at first that they offer all these games for that money, but then you think people are paying this recurringly every month.
Yeah, for real. A year, maybe 2 years ago.
Either
Xbox
way, Microsoft get your money.
That's right. Yeah. They said something that kind of made sense. It was within the 2 years. They said Sony's not our competition anymore, and like they came out with that. And like, what are they competing with? And they're pushing so much stuff into the cloud type gaming, which you might see. You're going to see more of that anyway coming up. Right. That might be the direction that they're going. I mean, we got digital consoles coming out. People predicted that. It's a no-brainer. It's actually a fantastic thing to do.
Yeah.
I still know people, which is weird, that just do digital content.
Actually, we have some friends in the Discord that are going to buy that digital PS5.
Yeah, and I'm curious to talk to them
and you know
after
what?
they do
No
it.
one's perfect, but we appreciate them anyway.
Sorry, Chris.
No, that's okay because it's the way the world's going anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm glad Xbox is focusing so hard on the Game Pass thing. Now
it's a smart move. I prefer the PlayStation method. I prefer my hardware. I love my collections.
Yeah. I'm
right in
there
today's climate, I think Microsoft's move is really smart, considering they're probably going to be selling the console at a loss. Like, you know, like, yeah, they want to sell their consoles, but they really want to hook you with that fucking subscription. So
I'm super suspicious. To be honest, I'm very suspicious of this cloud stuff. You know, I'm old enough for anyone listening.
Man, if you're suspicious of this cloud stuff, don't play the Final Fantasy VII remake.
I don't. Hold on. How does he deal with his hair?
Mike, how old do you think you are?
I'm wizened. Okay, the people in the audio, they can't see that I'm wizened and gray. And so let me tell you, I remember a thing called pay-per-view.
Okay, Master Roshi.
And the thing is, when pay-per-view came out, and when people talk about pay-per-view in the past, they go, yeah, and pay-per-view became a big thing. Let me reveal something to you. Pay-per-view didn't work. Not it worked badly. It worked almost none of the time. And I'm just of the opinion that there's a lot of stuff I use with streaming that doesn't work very well.
I have done Stadia, Google Stadia from day one. I can tell you right now.
But we still like them anyway.
That it works.
Yeah.
It works. It works in what way?
Well, that's the thing,
though. You can
it's
play
still
hours and hours on end, and I've had no problems. But it's the internet.
I was going to say that was your experience specifically, though. Like, that's awesome that it works flawlessly for some.
It's like an anecdotal at best.
Yeah. But
5% probably works perfect.
In Boston, just so you know, because I think this is a thing of people being in good areas. In Boston, they still sell dial-up internet.
Oof.
Wow. It was still installed.
I hate to
people
bring
buy it.
In Maine, people only have dial-up internet.
There are 2 towns in Maine that don't even have electricity.
Okay, so why are we like? Well, what do they have to do with it? By the way,
they don't matter though.
You know, fish don't even have phones. But you're like, I don't know. It just doesn't work. Netflix. I mean, we right now you're in an audio forum, right? Like Netflix has for years had a problem. Almost all of the Roku apps have had a problem for years with their volume control. You can look it up. It's listed on their website saying our Roku apps do not deliver consistent volume. And that's Netflix, who's just trying to play video. And then there seems to be this other attitude of people like you're saying, like, it works great for me.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you can go down a whole hole of the internet of people talking about digital rights and things like that. And I got to do, there's someone in your chat, in your Discord, that's like, I was complaining 5 minutes ago about, they took this server offline and I can't play this RPG from the 90s. And then they're like, but I'm going to get this Xbox streaming service. It's insane to think that you're going to you won't own your games in 20 years. Let's be clear. You won't give your games to your children.
Right.
I've purchased an embarrassing amount of digital content.
I will be giving my games to my children, including this fucking Vectrex.
Oh,
thank you very much.
But I have one of those TVs that I bought at a garage sale, like that people used to put underneath their counters.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh man, I wish I had one of those. But
no, the Vectrex is better.
Yeah, the Vectrex is pretty great. But no, that's the brilliant thing about Game Pass specifically, though, is sure. I mean, you know, there's all the digital rights stuff, whatever. The cool thing about Game Pass is it's all. You pay for the service to play the games, but you're not streaming the games. You actually download the games onto your system. So it's just like, you know, when you buy a digital game or whatever, you download it onto your hard drive, you're playing it from your system. That's how Game Pass operates. Like, sure, you know, some games may be taken off over time or whatever and added. It's just like Netflix, you know, you're paying for the service to consume all of this media, and it's a revolving door.
Is replacing a service called television, if you've heard of it.
Wait, what's that?
You can use the command mail. Television had no pausing, no ability to choose what you watch. Netflix is offering a service where you do that. So compared to TV, where I have zero control, Netflix is fine. But I get to choose what fucking games I throw in the trash and which ones I keep here. That's not a thing anymore.
However, though, I mean, again, like I do love my favorite thing is collecting games. Yep. But just to play devil's advocate for Game Pass, it's the same concept right now. I mean, you buy a video game, right? You buy a brand new video game, $60. You're fucking stuck with that game, whether it's good or not. I mean, you can trade it in, whatever. But
you still won't get full retail back.
You have that game, you're fucked. Yep. Game Pass, you spend $15 a month or whatever. There's 70 games at your disposal or whatever. If you play one and don't like one, just delete it and play the next game. It's no skin off your back. It's the same deal as Netflix. It's not you can
choose to do that.
It's not like you're locked into I programmed my VCR to record this one fucking show.
Every time I played a show on Netflix and I didn't like it, I just threw my TV away and went one. Is there something I don't know about?
You're doing it wrong.
Damn it, Tony. I guess we didn't give you the memo.
To get the cable wire.
If you ask LG, I'm doing it right, though.
Oh yeah, LG loves it.
But
they might be biased.
As far as Game Pass, the amount that you're paying and what you're getting is actually quite phenomenal.
If you have good internet, that's all I'm saying. Is if you have good internet, because I've had to reinstall games from discs too that didn't work.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't like this bold whole thing. Whenever we talk about streaming games, like it's working. Everybody's having a good time with it. It's
not always working.
Yeah, I was gonna say, granted, Game Pass does have the benefit that you're not streaming the game, you're downloading it. But if you're in an area with shitty internet, downloading a game that's 80 gigabytes or something like that can take a couple days.
It's not gonna be good.
I don't want to ever live in a place where my internet sucks so bad that I have to choose between downloading a video game and downloading porn. It's not going to happen,
right? Because porn's going to win.
Or you can just download like Leisure Suit Larry and get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, it's a hard jerk.
On the downside, you'll own Leisure Suit Larry.
It's a hard jerk.
And these are kids' toys, and you are going to have kids who are like at their house, and their sister or brother wants to do something, and the other sister or brother wants to download a game. Like tough shit, Or a lot of us have roommates. Tough shit.
Exactly.
And I understand that this isn't really, a solution that works for everyone, but like on days where I guess I just don't want to think too hard about it, I'm just like, well, you know what, if you live in an area that's got terrible internet, well, that's like your own fucking problem. Go outside and push your house closer to civilization.
All right, hold on 1 second, guys. Nevin, thank you very much for the 50 stars, 10-week streak. He says, LMAO, throw the whole TV away. He's laughing about that. That was a good comment.
Yeah, it was. It was good.
I could never live in a place with bad internet. And when I move, I make sure the internet's good because of our lifestyle.
Oh, yeah, we all have that. We all get jobs.
Luxury, man.
But wait a minute. Can I? Do you have internet there? Oh, yeah, we all have that. And why don't you LMAO something I said? I'm the guest. Pretend to laugh.
Hey! These fans of ours, they know where it's at. Right?
I'll give him the credit. Actually, he actually texted that joke to me, and I stole it from him.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you. Gee.
Yeah, there you go.
I didn't come up with the TV joke.
Good one, Mike.
I'm a fraud. Except my resignation.
Exactly.
I have a question for you guys. I'm asking for a friend. If you just take vodka and put a couple olives in it, is it a martini?
Yeah.
Mike, do you have a problem? Is that what you...
Good.
Are you the friend? The friend? Yeah? I'm asking for a friend. He's right there.
I think it's a martini.
Wait, hold on.
Thank you.
Is that a main martini?
That makes me not feel like an alcoholic. Huh?
That's a main martini because it's in solo glass.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah,
this is a martini glass. I don't know
fancy.
Why. Right?
How would you say solo cup in mayonnaise?
Solo cup.
Okay. That's the same everywhere.
You say mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Mayonnaise.
Yes.
We were teaching Mike some Maine lingo.
See this? Yeah, this is the good.
The language of my people.
This is a good knockoff solo cup. It's not the dollar store ones. This is the Walgreens knockoff.
Oh, it looks textured.
Yeah. It's got a nice
Get out of here! You're classing the place up.
You must have got a raise this week.
How'd you know?
Can you imagine?
Damn, how do you afford that shit, dude?
Yeah. Can you imagine a world in which Solo Cup is like, but you're paying for the brand?
Yeah.
Like,
okay, Mike, what state do you live in or country?
I live in Boston.
Okay, you live in Boston.
Yeah, so
okay.
different country is that
in?
Have you been there forever?
In Boston or America?
Boston.
Yes.
No, I'm an expat of New Jersey.
Okay, so question: did you grow up drinking out of mason jars?
Okay, so I grew up in suburbia where mason jars are expensive and bought by people who think they're being classy, and it's the worst.
Okay, now listen to this. In
terrible.
Maine, everyone canned. Okay, everyone does canning up here. It's just a way of life, and we would empty out the cans when we're done eating everything in it, clean it out, and drink out of it, and then we'd recan with it.
And jellies.
So
and
we had this cycle of drinking containers that was just mason jars growing up. That's it.
You know what I can try on air? I haven't tried it yet.
Fucking in trouble for breaking one. Woo, doggy.
I have a Depression era style towards food. So like if there's a little bit of like mustard at the bottom of a thing, I will try schemes to get it out, fill it with something else, and get the mustard out.
Okay.
How long's your tongue?
Asking for a friend.
That has been the one that I haven't tried yet. I have in my kitchen a honey thing that I've been filling with every time I finish honey or jelly or maple syrup. I would fill it with vodka and then put it into the honey thing, swish the vodka and put it in. So I haven't tried it. I could get it.
Now would be the time.
Yeah,
now
you might need a drink to deal with us, man. I'm surprised you've gone this far.
We'll be right here. I expect you to. It's a honey jar, but I expect you. By the time he's done here, he's going to be able to say honey jar.
Honey jar,
bub.
Get the honey jar. I love
that I say doyad, and he has no fucking clue what I'm saying.
Dude, he somehow picked up on me saying pibba.
Pibba, but he doesn't.
You got your pibbas out in the doyad.
So what the fuck's a doyad? He says. Fucking doyad. Wait a second. Okay, this isn't a honey jar. This is just honey.
The honey thingy.
Okay, it's
a honey
bear.
thingy. Yeah, it's a bear.
Yep. And it's got honey and like some jam in it. You can see it for the.
Honey.
Okay.
There's like seeds on the bottom. So
the butt. Yeah.
You're witnessing history here, people.
What do you do with this? Okay, you just drink it.
I've never done anything with it. This is the first time I've.
How old is it?
How old is the honey? That's a good question. The honey's relatively new, but whatever. There might be other stuff in it. I mean, there's vodka. There's vodka.
That might actually sound like
the vodka kills everything else.
That sort of sound like a euphemism. Like you go up to someone in like a dirty alleyway. Hey, how old the honey?
Well, when you started moving it around,
not at all.
I was concerned with the honey moving as fast as it was. I didn't realize there was extras in it.
Right. Honey movement.
This is part of your preservation mason jar thing.
Yeah.
In order to get any jams and preserves out, I fill them with vodka and then pour them into this.
That's perfect.
Okay, so the review. So what's the review on the jam honey vodka combo?
Yeah,
it's honestly delicious.
There's something about olives too.
You learned.
No olives.
Or is that taking it a step too far?
No, that was the other one.
That was me. I got the olives. I finished my olives. Now it's just vodka. But
so you're doing the same thing with those containers as we would with soap in the bathroom. You just put water in it, shake it up a little bit.
I fucking hate that. That's why I shave my head, is because of people that put water in the shampoo bottle and then you go squirt it out onto your hand and just water fucking shit smeared down your arm.
I don't remember jizzing in that bottle.
At least jizz would be thick. At least that just kind of plop in my head and work.
Emulsifier.
Okay, so Xbox Showcase.
We're what fucking
Fable.
40 minutes into this
podcast.
I gotta tell you, game.
Honestly, once I heard about Fable, I immediately stopped paying attention to anything after, and I forgot everything that happened before.
Okay, anybody in chat?
Well, that's the last thing. So
anybody in chat and anybody here, do we care about Fable?
Yes,
absolutely,
very much.
Is that
true?
Are you trying to weed people out? Like if they say no,
no. I'll back you up on this a little bit. Okay, so I thought I cared about Fable. When was the last time you guys played a Fable game?
Right.
Not that long ago, actually.
2 weeks ago.
But
okay, because I replayed Fable and I was like, I love Fable, and I played it. And I was like, this is the fucking worst. I hate it. It's so slow.
Here's why I'm excited. Here's why I'm excited. I love the franchise. It has so much charm. It has so many good ideas, but it was held back. It was held back by its own dev team. Because as much as I love Peter Molyneux's ambition and the stuff that they tried to do, it was just not a talented enough dev team to pull off what they wanted to pull off. So it had great ideas. It had so many great ideas, but none of them were executed as we would have liked them to be. This one's being developed by Playground Games, which is the dev behind the Forza Horizon series. Yep. And that might seem like an odd pick, it kind of focuses on racing games to do a RPG.
But they've been hiring for it, though. They've been hiring
racing to see how fast they can get my money.
This is such a gaming journalist way of looking at it. Like, okay, you said you've been hiring people, and it's a new team, and they haven't worked on other games. You have no idea what you're getting. That's a different company than the other games that have made that stuff. You have no idea what you're getting.
That's fair.
You like the game by the guy that you said failed, and now you have a company that's never done it, is hiring new people, and somehow you've decided that's better. All these unknowns, as opposed to this person had ambitions and somehow fell short.
It's because I know that Peter Molyneux and Lionhead Studios will fall short. I don't know that Playground won't fall short. I don't know if they will, but I don't know if they won't.
This is the new boyfriend theory. Okay.
Pretty much.
Date someone else. Your current situation, but you're not saying your current situation isn't so good. You're not saying, well, we just don't gel together. You're saying you like it. So either you hate it or you like it.
But the problem is the current situation sucks. The last Fable game was a decade ago.
So you don't like Fable. That's what I'm saying. No one likes Fable.
I do like Fable. It's just that the last game released in the franchise, the last game released in the franchise was Fable The Journey, and we don't talk about that.
You know what's going to happen?
Before that was Fable 3, and we don't really talk about that one either. But before that was Fable 2, and Fable 2 was really good.
It's going to have a fast life.
Who made Fable 2?
Lionhead Studios.
Yeah. Oh, really?
It's going to have a super fast life. It's going to have almost a faster life as the hype up to Final Fantasy VII Remake, and then it disappearing from existence about a month and a half later.
Well, it's because everybody beat it, and then they're just like, all right, man. When's the next one coming out?
That was fucking quick. But Fable, I mean, I see the allure of it, and I was like, oh, damn, this little fairy looks pretty cool. Everything looks good. And all of a sudden, the fucking frog ate it, and I was like, that's the coolest part of the whole thing. But I see the allure of it, but I'm not sure. I'm just not sure about it.
I don't know. This is coming from the same guy who just got into Borderlands last year. So,
again, fair point.
Oh my god, are you going to keep bringing that up? All right, I said I was sorry. Okay, I paid my dues.
And Fable, usually the same fans.
Yeah,
Fable pretty much.
I fucking love Borderlands. Holy fuck, it's so good.
Yeah. There's an old speaking of older games. There's an old thing of like just reskinning games. And it seems as though people like are really hesitant to do this. It's not like, okay, we have Fable as an idea. We have like other games that have done it better. I'm not really sure what the issue is with just taking a game that's already pretty good and pretty close to it and changing some of the words and some of the characters and the way they look. I'm not really sure how you can't take a Mass Effect game, slap on some chickens and some prostitutes.
They did that. They did that. They did it. Far Cry Primal was just a reskin of Far Cry 4.
But you accept different areas because I know you guys remember playing games on like Genesis and being like, this is literally a game I've played.
No, I know what you mean, where it's like where it becomes a completely different franchise. Like a closer comparison to that in the modern day would be take Far Cry 5 and make a new Crysis game out of it, where it's a different franchise, but the parts are close enough to where you can just kind of like change some assets and it's a different game now.
And you said it wasn't PUBG. Didn't that start as just a reskin? Like, I'm not sure why
then the
industry doesn't do that.
Like, that's the supposition is that like I think like you're kind of starting from like I guess a presumption that like they're trying to pretend that it's not a reskin, where Ubisoft was just like, oh hey, this is Far Cry, but it's like a million years ago. They're like, is that the Far Cry format? They're like, yes. Yes, it is.
That's true. They could have just called it Primal, and it would have been a new IP or whatever. But since they're just like, well, this is basically just Far Cry, but in a completely different setting.
Far Cry 4 a long time ago.
Yeah. So that's fair.
In having millions of dollars and not just buying somebody else's, like, some of the work. It's like, you see this a lot of time with coding of games too. I'm learning is like people code these games from the ground up, and like we moved away from that model in filmmaking years ago. Nobody uses native software anymore. No one uses native music hardware anymore. You don't have to set up your reverb plates did you even know about reverb plates? No.
I'm an audio engineer by trade.
You know about reverb plates?
Yes, I absolutely do.
It's the equivalent of doing that. It's the equivalent of being like, you don't need to have Audition or you should go and code your own, like, we have things like that get close to it, like the Unreal Engine and all these different things that have some of these things built in. I'm not sure why someone isn't like, yeah, our game is pretty much Mass Effect, but the same stuff doesn't happen. So why don't we just buy the ability to reproduce that and make it different? It doesn't make a ton of sense to me.
So Robin just said something. I heard Crisis. Was Eric referring to how the suit and Crossfire seem Crisis C? So Crossfire X is something that they showed. Go ahead, Eric.
It was an Xbox exclusive.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that game was my old like AOL Instant Messenger screen name. XX Crossfire XX
69 420 666.
I'm going to tell you right now, this Crisis Crossfire X whatever. I'm going to ignore that. I'm going to ignore its existence. My own personal opinion on that. I'm going to ignore its existence. Go ahead, Eric.
Oh, I don't have anything to add. I didn't see what about Crossfire X.
Crossfire!
No, I remember what you're talking about. That was one of those fucking RC cars, right? Wasn't that the one that could flip over and stuff?
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Wrong. Crossfire was a game where you would shoot little ball bearings at a different ball bearing sort of thing. And the commercial literally.
That's right.
Okay, watch the Crossfire commercial.
Wait, Matt, I have to know, dude.
I haven't seen the commercial in 25 years. I'm sorry.
Watch the last scene from Revenge of the Sith where they're on the lava. It's identical.
Mike, I gotta know, dude. How old are you? Huh?
I don't. A lady never tells her age.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess
you're always making yourself seem like you're older, but I don't think you're older than I am.
I also have a hard time with the math of birthday years, and so my girlfriend remembers my age for me, so I can text her and pretend that I'm avoiding it because like I have a problem with it.
That's perfect.
Wait, like 5 minutes.
I have a question though. It's because you're both saying these different things like Crossfire and stuff, and it's showing ages. You know what I mean?
Right.
Are you older than 35?
Wait. What was I talking about?
Well, Crossfire, like the game. Yeah.
There it is.
The last 30 seconds of this podcast has been louder than the like that THS sound that played
yeah, you're right.
It was just kind of a funny gap of age there.
It's just a sonic assault on your ears.
All right, so evidently Crossfire X none of us care about. Nobody's gonna play it here. I'm pretty sure none of us are gonna play that.
One game that I'm sure you guys aren't going to bring up because it's very much like a me game, and I'm pumped for it.
Fantasy Star Online 2?
Tell Me Why. I said it's a me game. I forgot the name of it. Tell me why. No, it's so anyway, it's a game by Don't Nod Entertainment, which is the company that did the Life is Strange games.
I actually saw that, and I was immediately thinking that is an Eric game.
There you go. They made the Life is Strange games and Remember Me and stuff. And, I'm a big fan of Life is Strange.
To be honest, though.
Especially Life is Strange 2. I don't hear enough people talk about how fucking great that game is.
I thought it looked interesting, Eric, to be honest.
On an unrelated note, game, how great is Life is Strange 2?
I enjoyed it.
Did you play it?
Yeah.
Fucking, I've never heard anybody else even say that they played Life is Strange 2. Like,
no,
I can't find
it. Nobody ever talks about it, so I'm making fun of you.
It wasn't like a it wasn't like a defining moment in my gaming career.
Really? Wow.
No.
I thought, it was just such an emotional fucking experience.
It was, but I mean, anything with emotional experience is overshadowed by Sea of Solitude. I mean,
that's true. I still haven't played Sea of Solitude. You have the biggest hard on for that fucking game.
It kills me, man.
Like, kills me. Don't talk about Sea of Solitude anymore. We don't want Dave to start touching himself again.
I tear right up. I was streaming that like only a few months ago, and I was a
but for real
mess.
Though, Sea of Solitude is one of the best indies out there.
You know what I am excited about?
Yeah.
He's saying nope. The Medium. Did you guys see that one?
Yes, I am very excited.
I am actually really excited about that because it does look it looks like my type of game.
Wait a second.
Everwild. Everwild.
I've heard of that. That's the guy with the blonde. Oh wait, no, that's the Mentalist. Sorry.
no, it's cool because it has that multi-dimensional gameplay thing, almost like it made me think of like Titanfall 2, how Titanfall 2 has those moments where you're like kind of switching between the like past and present or whatever. But the thing is you're playing both realities at the same time. So it's like a split screen and you see the shit happening in one dimension on one side and the stuff that's happening in the other dimension on the other side.
Sounds like a cool game that's being developed by M. Night Shyamalan.
Right.
It's like whatchamacallit, Infinite, right? BioShock Infinite is the thing that it's like looking at this for a little.
That was such a great game.
I love BioShock Infinite. Oh,
it is like that to a degree, except instead of like transitioning between dimensions, you're like performing one action, and your actions are being met in both dimensions at once. So it's split screen. It looks almost like two people are playing, but it's just one person playing the same thing, but you're in two separate planes of existence.
Yeah.
The gunk.
Push more and stuff like that, like really messing with your brain. I played a game where you had to do entire parts of the level like upside down, and I was like, how have I played games for this many years and not just been told to do the same actions upside down?
Right.
Now, have you guys ever played Brothers?
Yes.
I ever played.
Okay. Brothers is so one character is one side, and you control the other character with the other side, and it's fucked.
And this is Brothers.
It's fucked. And you have to do things together to get through the levels, whatever. And it's a mind fuck.
Yeah. Together, that was a really emotional.
Together with yourself, yes, not Brothers.
Yeah, there's a Zelda where you do that. I want to say
Triforce Heroes or some shit.
No, actually, it's like Twilight Princess.
Four Swords,
like the big ones.
Is that
is that just like it was like a mini game type thing or?
I don't remember. I remember having to push someone across a bridge and do it with both people at once.
Legend of Zelda and the Lampshade of No Real Significance.
Anyway, the gunk was showed also. I thought that looked pretty cool.
That looked neat.
It had a very No Man's Sky type feel to it.
It showed you the gunk last night, though. Yeah.
I'm just talking about it.
Yeah. Let's see what else was
somewhat viscous.
Grounded.
Don't talk about my gun.
Grounded is I'll be streaming that when that comes out.
Yeah.
I
was gonna say my first thought is Dave is gonna play the hell out of that, but my second thought was I loved that trailer because of just how self-aware it was. I have no interest in the game at all. Like I could give a shit less about the game, but I love how the first thing it starts off with: if you want to play the biggest game of the year, play Cyberpunk. But if you want to play the smallest game, I appreciate that level of self-awareness and that little plug. Like I'm like,
I played like
guys.
The beta
that's
demo.
Cute. I like that.
It was like an open beta demo. And holy fuck, it was cool. Like battling the ants and stuff. You just you look up and you just see the house. Everything you felt small. You felt really, really small and insignificant, and I'm very excited to play that with my buddy D-Rail.
I don't need to play that game to feel small and insignificant.
That's my life. Thank you very much.
So Grounded, they did show something for the Outer Worlds.
Yeah, they showed DLC for the Outer Worlds actually.
Obsidian's busy as shit right now. They're making that DLC for Outer Worlds. They're making Grounded, and they're making Avowed, which literally just looks like if the Outer Worlds is just Obsidian's own proprietary Fallout, Avowed is their own proprietary Elder Scrolls. It's literally what it is. Right. Which I'm on board for it. That's cool.
How fucking terrifying! This might just be me. I realize it's just me. How terrifying was the State of Decay 3 trailer?
I mean, it was a post-apocalyptic thing with the zombie thing, whatever.
It freaked me out.
That's every other fucking game that came out in the past.
I'm a big weenie too. I am very scared by any time.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm a big weenie. I will admit right now, I cannot play scary games.
Mike, you have to watch my VR where I collapsed.
Weasel, though.
Big weasel.
No, he's got a big weasel.
He's a big weenie with a big weasel.
You should definitely see the video where I collapse on VR in a scary game.
That was a good one.
Oh, it's great. I watch it every morning. I laugh at it.
I don't like this thing where horror has become like, I'm too tough for horror. Well, then watch something else. Nope. I don't get it. Like, oh, it doesn't scare me.
I'm a big burly dude, and I fucking cry during horror movies and get under a blanket.
That's like the thing where I'm like, I'm definitely not. I'm too tough for horror. I'm like, I get scared very easily, but I love it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
right.
that's the exact same way.
That's the fun of horror is getting scared.
Nope, don't care.
That I just shit myself.
Don't care.
Here's how much it affects me. HBO Go is turning into HBO, another monetary scheme or whatever.
Right.
And so we're losing it. And I'm
HBO
watching
Wow.
HBO Wow. I never paid for it. You should have put the paywall up at the last episode of Game of Thrones. And I was like, oh, I'll rewatch all my favorite HBO docs. The Slender Man documentary, not even a movie about Slender Man. It's
about you're talking about the girl that did it, like the.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Too much alone. I have to have someone there. Hold my hands. It's scary.
It is rough. It is rough. I'll give you.
And if you don't know the real story of the Slender Man murders, that means I'm afraid of two tiny little girls, and that's why I can't watch it alone.
And they've committed one more murder than I have, and I'm a 30s man. Like, exactly. Yes, I would be terrified of them.
Right. Exactly. It's all scary, dude.
Yeah. It's terrifying.
Yeah. Everything. I walked out of Boogeyman movie. I don't know what I was thinking. My girlfriend at the time, we both just kind of screamed like twins and walked out. It was terrible.
Screaming. I'm like the only one screaming in horror movie theaters. It's embarrassing. Everybody else there is like, whatever. And I'm like, ah!
First of all, why the fuck are you going to a horror movie at a theater anyway? Cut it out. It's terrifying.
That's like one cool thing. Okay, I bag on Florida a lot. I talk a lot of shit about living here, but one cool thing is that we have theme parks here. And whereas most people experience having to like travel across the country to go to Disney World, it's right in my backyard. Like I can fucking go to Busch Gardens whenever I want. But like all these big theme parks like Busch Gardens and Universal Studios, during the month of October, they'll do like these like haunted house themed things where like you go at nighttime and they have haunted houses set up where it's just almost like movie level theatrical.
Stereotypical,
Yes, Florida, the one state ever that has haunted houses.
And and that's where all the COVID-19 comes from. Yeah. But so you go in there, everybody's breathing and coughing all over each other. Everybody's breathing and coughing all over each other. It's great. Bath salt zombies, those are real. That's not part of the acts. They're just there. But like when I was a teenager going to those places, I would take pride in how like stoic I could be when the guys would like jump out of the car and go, right in my face. I'm like, I'm nuts.
I've never understood that.
But now I'm like,
place, which is like, I've always liked being on, I hate roller coasters, but I like being on them and being like, yeah, but how does Superman like focus on something while he's doing this? And so my only fun experience of doing it is be like, and then imagine like someone's there and you got to get him, and it's like you could never do this. You would need goggles at the very least.
At least,
especially when he turns like real fast or stops real fast. His brain's fucking jungled in his fucking head. Jello. When that happens, it takes us like a few minutes to kind of get our coordinates back.
Yeah, so Lex Luthor only manages to outsmart him because his brain's constantly hitting the front of his cranium every time he like
exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's
monologue for a while because he flew from here to Zanzibar. And Lex Luthor's like, I knew you'd come, Superman. And Superman's just like, ow. And by the time he gets up,
just do me a favor. Hold on just a second.
Does anyone have any Excedrin?
I have such brain food.
Oh man!
Is it to the top of the head or bottom?
I think the theory is he's
both.
Does he doesn't? No, I don't know a lot about Superman. He doesn't heal, right? He just doesn't get hurt.
He can heal using the sun, which is a load of horse shit.
Okay, so maybe, just maybe,
most of Superman is actually kind of horse shit.
Yeah, well, most of Superman is a load of horse shit.
And then we found out that he was alive. That's how it works with Superman. Is if he dies, he's alive.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he died.
Which is exactly the point, because like in Superman, I never got interested because like there's never any stakes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, even if he dies, like he's
that was
really alive, and he'll come back. And I'm like, in Superman, like he told you right there, like
he's right.
This is a controversial statement to say, but the only good thing about the new Supermans and the Batman versus Supermans is they really did do a good job capturing the stakes of Super, especially since I have to go in a small time. This is dangerous to say, talking about the new Supermans being good. When Lex Luthor sets off the bomb in the courtroom and Superman's the only one living, that's sort of the stakes of Superman. It's like, yeah, there's no stakes in him, you selfish son of a bitch, but he is supposed to save others. So right,
I have to tell you,
nuclear bomb, yeah, Superman will be fine.
That's definitely not the best part about it. The best part about it is I can choose never to watch it ever.
No, you don't need to watch it because I just described the one scene that matters. Is
there you go.
Part. Yeah,
I've never seen it, but now I feel like I have. So thank you.
Do you notice how I didn't even say spoiler alerts because I don't care?
It's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's very bad.
So Ethan just asked, would you do those horror experiences like Blackout or
McCaney Manor?
McCaney Manor. Blackout. Wait, the game Blackout?
I definitely wouldn't do
We
Blackout.
played that. No, I don't want to do anything Blackout at all. I don't even like going into Fort Knox, which is like right down the road.
Hey, Dave, you should actually look up McCamey Manor.
Nope.
Dude, look it up.
I value my sleep. I value my sleep. I haven't had a lot of dreams in the past 3 or 4 weeks, and I've had no nightmares for at least 3 months.
I'm going to caution you against something that I think you would find terrifying.
No.
It's called Veggie Tale. Now, the vegetables look like they're like
dude, I can't take smooth vegetables talking is terrifying. It's terrifying.
I don't need a whole haunted mansion though. If I turn the lights off in my studio, which has no light source, I'm scared. And that and on that, I love you guys. I will definitely come back on this show.
Absolutely. We do have to go too.
Cult.com. Go there.
Actually,
cult.org. All right.
Yes, exactly. All right, we're out of here, guys. We have to go.
Okay, we're all going. We're all going.
Hey,
wait a second. No.
Okay, we're not going.
Hey,
we're forgetting something, Dave.
What are we?
Dave.
Oh, the giveaway. Yeah.
Sorry, we're doing a giveaway.
Whoops. Hold on.
Wow.
We have to fix this. It broke. Okay, we're good. We're good.
Wow.
He left us really quick, and I didn't have time to fix anything. Okay, go ahead. You got it.
Yeah, so we're giving away a copy of Ghost of Tsushima. So anyone who liked, commented, or shared is entered in that automatically. So let's do it.
Sakura.
Ghost of Sakura.
I'm glad you mentioned it. I almost lost it because he was going to leave so quick that it was going to screw up OBS. And I was like,
Subaru.
Shit, we got to go too. But we don't have to go. We can wait.
Yeah, no, we don't. We absolutely don't.
I checked.
That's right. It is a free country.
I do what I want. To be fair, I did tell him earlier because he was saying he's like, is it ending at 8:30? I gotta do something at 8:30. I'm like, well, if you need to dip out early, that's fine, whatever. So that's my own fault.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I wasn't prepared for that.
Yeah, I should have told you that before.
I was like, wait a minute. Wait.
But it's funner when we don't know what we're doing. That's kind of our shtick.
It is true.
It really is. Yeah. Look at that. Okay.
So we have 17 unique commenters, sharers, and likers on this. Yeah, likers. Sharers. So yeah.
Okay. What do we do with that information?
Cool. I'm glad we narrowed it down.
Yeah.
I like how this still says Mike above.
I have 16 cigarettes left in my pack. Like, okay. As long as we're just giving out useless information.
Dude, yeah. It's my little app here. It just kind of tells me stuff and, yeah.
Your little ass?
It is cute.
If that's what you want.
It's cute and tight.
Yeah.
My little ass just told me,
Yeah, if that's what you want, to hear, that is perfectly fine.
Tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really
These guys
want.
really want to know who's going to win.
I want to know. I really want to know who won this fucking giveaway.
Yeah, and people are. I mean, as they should be. Ghost of Tsushima is awesome. We haven't talked nearly enough about it today.
Oh my god, no fucking joke.
Hey, so my random comment generator picked Christopher Shaw
Christopher Shaw.
Christopher Shaw.
Chris, yes.
We just won Ghost of Tsushima.
Woo!
All right. Yo, hey, check it out. Well, while we're not like in a rush to leave, since Mike left us and we're just hanging out here. Yeah. We're just gonna, since we only talked about like half of the games, I'm just gonna go rapid fire through the rest of the list of games that were shown.
Do it.
Xbox.
Yeah.
Okay. As Dusk Falls. It's some weird fucking game by ex Quantic Dream members. Hellblade 2. It's Hellblade but in Iceland.
Hellblade, but the number 2 after it.
Yeah. Psychonauts 2. I never played Psychonauts. I hear it has a great cult following. I don't give a shit, but a lot of people do. So cool, good for them. Destiny 2. Because Destiny, who cares?
Wait, why
Stalker
did they...
2. Well, because they're like, it was one of those things like with GTA 5 where they're like, oh, well, GTA 5 is now being optimized for PlayStation 5. It's like, who fucking gives a shit? It's been optimized for the past 5 fucking generations. Like, just give us a new one. They're doing the same thing with Destiny.
But does optimized mean good? Well, no, but okay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Stalker 2, it's a post-apocalyptic something or other. I hear people like the first one. I never played it, so I don't care, but still, cool. Warhammer 40K Dark Tide. Okay. If you like Warhammer, then cool.
Sounds like something my brother would probably be into or something.
It's a video game.
Something, right?
Tetris Effect. It's Tetris.
If I have to explain it to you, you don't deserve to play it.
Exactly. Medium. We already talked about Medium. That's the cool one with like the
large,
fucking split.
Extra large.
Crossfire X. That's the one that we don't care about.
Right.
New Genesis, Phantasy Star Online 2.
Ooh.
I have never played Phantasy Star Online, but I know that it has an enormous cult following. I know that it's like, one of the like biggest MMORPG type games.
Oh, Phantasy Star Online 2?
Yeah.
I got that on Game Pass. It's actually really fun.
It looks really fucking good from the trailer I watched. It looks decent. And then Fable.
Character with tickle bitties.
Oh,
Tickle,
you can make them anime titties out. Yeah, we like those here. In case you guys didn't know, we like anime titties.
We do.
No, we don't.
I do love anime.
We definitely do.
Yeah.
But
so, I think that Everwild. We didn't talk about it that much.
We didn't talk about Everwild. That's right.
Dude,
we kind of. That looks cool. It
does look cool, man.
It looks real cool, man.
Yeah. It kind of almost has like a journey aesthetic to a degree. Like it's not quite that far, but it's kind of in that artsy fartsy realm of like Journey, Abzu, like that kind of.
The art looks amazing and it absolutely, dude, it looked fucking great. I love that type of art.
Oh yeah, I do too. And admittedly, it looks a lot more interesting to me than Rareware's last game, which was Sea of Thieves, which was kind of fun. I guess I couldn't get into it.
It was okay.
This game,
I would like it a lot. I feel like I just didn't give Sea of Thieves enough of a shake.
Right.
I feel like I gave it as good of a shake as I could have, being that I don't really think it's a game I'd enjoy, even if I give it a good shake.
I had fun with it. I felt like it was dead. I didn't feel like there was a lot going on. It wasn't. Yeah. The land wasn't enough land. And obviously the sea was just kind of just there.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely see the allure. I see why people like it, but it's not my cup of tea personally. Right. But no, I already forgot the name of it. What's Rareware's new game that we were just talking about?
We're talking about Everwild.
Everwild. Yeah, Everwild.
It's between fucking Outer Wilds and Outer Worlds and Evergrace and all these
Everclear.
Father
of mine. Yeah.
Tell me, where have you been? Yeah, no.
At the store buying lotto scratchers.
Fucking scratches down exactly at the 5 and dime. No, that Everwild looks pretty fucking cool. It has that artsy fartsy kind of, like I said, sort of almost indie charm to it, even though it's not an indie game. It's by Rareware. It looks cool. I'm about it. And the fact that it's going to be on Game Pass, that's the thing with a lot of these games, is all of these games, like within the context of I would have to purchase them, none of them really piqued my interest that much to where like, no, Everwild is not a game I would buy day one. Medium isn't a game I would buy day one. but they're all games that are going to be available on Games Pass. So like, as long as I have a Games Pass subscription, I don't really have an excuse not to try them.
Right.
Honestly, and under that pretense, with that pretext in place, I am excited for them.
That's how they're making all their money, is because they're converting all the people that would decidedly not buy like X amount of games day one, and they're converting them into people that like have these games that they're for for a nominal fee per month. It's like, oh, I would play that like on my Game Pass. You know what I mean? Like, if I had that subscription. And honestly, if you think about it, that's no small change. Like that, that ain't small potatoes. That's a lot of money that that they're making. Like by taking those people,
it's an incredibly smart business model, in my opinion. Because there's like, they know that people are going to just buy the big games. Like they know that fucking Everwild necessarily by itself probably wouldn't make huge sales figures.
Right.
Whereas like Halo, everybody would buy fucking Halo. It's Halo. Halo's a money printing machine. Yep. So they put it under this subscription fee where people are spending more money than they would just spend on Halo because they keep the subscription for months. And they're playing all these other games, and in the end, Microsoft probably ends up making significally more money than selling the games piecemeal, as has always been done.
They're also kind of like taking those people, like those smart alecky kind of like condescending people that think that they're sticking it to Microsoft, and they're kind of sticking it back at them. Those people that are just like, oh, I'm not gonna buy an Xbox for Halo. I'm just gonna play it on PC. And Microsoft's just like, okay, whatever. It's still us.
Yeah, we're still getting your money, pal. Yeah, exactly. Like I said earlier, all the speculation and rumors right now are that the next gen consoles are probably going to be sold at a loss. I mean, most new hardware is sold either like at cost or at a small loss to the developers. So for them to, really focus on that software side of things, where like, yeah, you can buy the box if you want, or don't. You can still buy our games and play them on whatever device you're on. That actually makes a lot of sense for where Microsoft is coming from.
This is like, I won't buy Halo. I won't buy an Xbox. I'll just play Halo on my like $3,000 gaming PC. And they're like, okay, that's cool.
Exactly.
That's
exactly what they do.
They're sitting there counting the money. Yeah, sure. That whatever you want to do, man.
Right. I have to be at work at 4 a.m. I would love to
so do I.
Shut her down.
Shut her down,
guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you very much to Mike for hanging out with us. We had a really good time. Congratulations to Christopher Shaw for winning Ghost of Tsushima.
Shaw, he's actually a good friend of mine. He's actually on my team at work.
That's good, because then I don't have to pay for any sort of shipping across the country or the world.
No, he actually just moved to Alaska, so sorry.
Alaska wouldn't be bad. I'll tell you what. Anything that goes out to Norway can be a little bit of a hassle, but you know what? It doesn't matter.
Shipping overseas is expensive. Norway.
In fact,
that's my last joke.
Nils is gonna love that when he watches this.
Right. In fact, one of our fans, Nils, talking to him specifically, he is sending us a whole bunch of stuff from Norway. So the next time we have a podcast, I'm hoping that maybe we can actually try some of it on stream. Maybe not Eric, because Florida.
Can't you wait until you ship it to me too, so we can have a 4-way fucking Nugatti eat off?
Okay, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Come on, man. Come on, you're killing me.
But either way, thank you very much, everybody.
I know. Nils would rather see all 4 of us eat it.
Damn it! You're gonna
tell us, Nils. Tell us after you watch.
He's gonna want that.
You're gonna want.
It's like 4 a.m. where he is right now. So
I have like a lasagna that I gotta go eat. So,
all right, guys, we'll talk to you later. Thank you so much.
What a surprise! If Matarazzo wants to eat lasagna.
All right, later, guys.
I got some Subaru to go play.
I didn't hit the right button. Doesn't matter.
That's fine.